My Woodgrain dream has finally come true. I just placed my order, my pre-order for my sweet, sweet Woodgrain.
Make sure you like and subscribe. Now, let's get the video started.
Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode, a very exciting episode of Gen X Gamer. Guys, for those of you who don't know, for those of you who are new to the channel, you don't know the journey that I've been in. Starting with my first video on Intellivision. You know, I have this video, and I'll link it down below. It's called Fast Times. For those of you Gen Xers, you'll relate. Fast Times at Intellivision High. And I have a whole playlist with a whole Amico debacle, complete clown show that console was.
Oh, look at that. Introducing the Intellivision Sprint. Experience the other side of the console war. Yeah, baby, look at that sweet Woodgrain. Oh, what are we going to get? Pre-order now. I already pre-ordered mine, by the way. I did it before I even thought about turning on the camera. I had to see for myself what it was all about. And I'm going to get mine pretty soon, I hope. All right, Intellivision Sprint. The first Intellivision console brought to you by Atari. The Intellivision Sprint retains the authentic look and feel of the original, modernized with HDMI and wireless controllers. Wireless, baby! Woo! Includes 45 built-in games, including Boulder Dash, Shark, along with classic Intellivision sports games, strategy games, and more. Also includes new overlays, woo, for each game. Beautiful, baby. Look at that Astro Smash. Oh, look at that sweet, delicious Woodgrain. Look at it. Look at it. Overlays, baby. Armor Battle, Sea Battle, Auto Racing, B-17 Bomber. Oh, and there it is. My sweet, delicious Woodgrain. Look at that. Oh, I can't get enough, guys. I am Night Stalker. Night Stalker, baby. Yes. Look at that. Oh, yes. Oh, man. This is awesome, guys. This is awesome. Let's get into it.
You know, the Intellivision is a very special machine for me because I never owned it. Right? We couldn't afford it, right? The Atari was already expensive for us, right? The Intellivision was completely out of the question. I went from Atari straight to ColecoVision, and the only time I played it, just for those of you who haven't followed my channel for a long time, because I'm telling you, this journey is years in the making. I mean, we've been waiting for an Intellivision mini since 2018. We've been waiting for Intellivision to be resurrected, right? And let me tell you guys, I couldn't believe it. I knew there was news this morning. They had announced it on X, and I was just like, oh my gosh, my joystick can only get so hard. I already have, the 2600 plus Pac-Man, on pre-order. And, I have the handheld that I'm still, messing around with, guys. And I have the video already that I'm, mixing. For those of you who have questions about, the imports and all that stuff, I'll make a separate video on that. I just wanted to touch on this real quick. And, it's since 2018 when they first announced, Intellivision was coming back and all that stuff. We went through the whole clown show of investing and all the lies and over promises and this and that and the other, just for my sweet, sweet Woodgrain, for that connection that I had back in the 80s. I played the Intellivision at my friend's house on a summer, on a pool party, guys, where everybody was out in the pool and I was sitting there playing Intellivision until I came down. And that night, my friends, I became a man. If you know what I mean. What a pool party. But that's a whole separate video. Guys, I didn't think this day would come. I had to pause. I literally had to put my coffee down, and I was like, it's finally here. What we've all wanted. We didn't want all this other crap, the this and that and the other. No, we just wanted an Intellivision that we could plug into our modern TVs. Guys, it comes with games. It comes with what we wanted. What Atari's doing is giving us what we wanted. How does that work? Right? How does that work? Look at it. All you have to do, all other companies out there, this is all you have to do. The customer wants something, you make it, and they'll give you their money. You're not going to be able to keep these in stock, right? But the first run is going to sell out. I'm telling you this right now, because I can tell you at least 6,000 people that placed pre-orders for the Intellivision Amico back in the day are going to buy this machine. I mean, that you at least have 6,000, and what's a normal production run? At least the first one, it's about 5,000 units tops, right? So those are going to be gone. But guys, it's a great day. I could be nothing but happy. For those of us who are retro gamers, those of us who, live back in the 80s, who have nostalgia for these type of games, what a great time. And, for some people out there, you're thinking, oh, this guy's like super overexcited for this kind of stuff. Yeah, for me, it's just nostalgia, right? Modern gamers look at these games and, they don't have any connection to them. They're just like, whatever, the graphics aren't that great. It's not even as good as the Nintendo, whatever. But when the Intellivision came out, the graphics were so much better. I remember just being so jealous. I'm playing on my Atari games, and the only game that I remember that I had, right, that I particularly had that looked as good as something on the Intellivision was my Pitfall. Because unfortunately, like a freaking idiot, before the crash, the last game that I bought, guys, with my money, with my Christmas money, I remember putting all together, I bought E.T., and boy was I pissed. I was so mad. I was so enraged. I couldn't find any enjoyment of the game. It was so trash. And I remember looking all the games that were coming out on television, and one of the most vivid memories that I had was looking at other systems. We'd look at the Montgomery Ward's catalog. My mother used to work at Montgomery Ward's, and we used to look at that Christmas catalog, and look at all. I remember looking at the Intellivision television stuff that they had, or at other game systems, and just dreaming, or the ads that would come out in the paper or in magazines for Intellivision, and them always showing side by side the Atari with the Intellivision. You'd be like, oh my gosh, wow. And what people don't remember, the Intellivision was online. What was considered online back in the day, they had the first service for that. They had the first voice recorder. Intellivision is a pioneer brand in the video game industry, right? Those of us who lived it, remember these things. Those of you out there who were able to afford these things, you guys got to enjoy this stuff. I couldn't enjoy it until later in life. After I had kids, and it wasn't until after, and for the Intellivision specifically, is after my kids were grown, I was able to go and buy the stuff that I could own, and my Intellivision broke, and I still have the games packed, and and I have to be really careful with them now because the boxes, are really fragile, and this is a great way to play some of those games, guys. The football game, that is. Intellivision has some great games, but the game that I have the most fondness for is a football game, because that's what I used to play with my friends, in their house. And, I just so thankful that Atari bought this brand. I am so thankful that I'm able to pre-order it now. This is my Christmas gift for my wife that doesn't know yet. I'm buying all this crap, babe. Don't worry. It's in advance, I'm gonna let her know today that she just bought me the Intellivision Sprint for Christmas. Man, I am happy. I haven't been this happy in a long time. I'm like a pig in mud, let me tell you. With the Atari Game Station Go, and now with this announcement, I couldn't be happier. When there is nothing better than a gamer, for those of you out there having, dreams of becoming a video game producer and whatever, just give people what they want. Listen to the people and then just sell them that. You know, and if people want your product bad enough, price is not really, price is not the barrier, right? And you can see that in the video game industry, where something is worth the money, people will pay it. You know, and in this case, man, this is a product that we've been waiting for a long time. You know, I'm not a person who streams or anything like this, so this is just for my own personal enjoyment, guys. I hope you guys are happy too. For those of you Intellivision fans that have been, you know, on this journey, put up with all these idiots on the internet, you know, talking about the Amico this and the Amico that. It never happened. It never happened. You know, at the end of the day, what, you know, really makes a company worth its mustard is that they say something and they actually do it. You have to follow through on your word, and Atari did it. You know, they bought the brand and they put the product that everybody wanted out. This is all anybody ever had to do if you own the Intellivision to make a bunch of money. And guys, this is just the first step, because you know and I know that the retro reimagines are going to come out now. Cloudy Mountain is just around the way, and that is a game that I'm looking forward to in the modern age, guys. Well, guys, this is just a little pep talk between us. I just turned the camera on. I interrupted my other video so I could do this, because I was just overjoyed, guys. I am just overjoyed, over the moon. I'm super happy with Atari. Atari, thank you for making my wood grain dreams come true. Oh, my sweet Woodgrain is back.
Hey guys, thank you for watching. Hey, you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button and join if you can.